Well, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you very much, and you may be seated. First of all, I want to thank you for welcoming me to your community here in Montgomery County, Pennsylvania. It's great to be here, and more importantly, welcoming me to your school. Before we begin, I do want to have a brief introduction, and that's for our acting education secretary, soon to be education secretary, Dr. Gonzalez. Dr. Gonzalez is here with us today, and she is going to be pivotal in the education reimagination of it, or reimaging of it, so to speak, um, over the next few years. We need to fix our education program in this country. We need to really fix it. We need to fix childhood nutrition. We need to fix our schools. We need to increase teacher pay. We need to work on education. Education is just as important as national defense because in our classrooms throughout this country, not only here in Montgomery County, but throughout the country, are our future engineers, our future scientists, and future astronauts, future explorers, and the future of our nation rests in these classrooms. And we've got to start spending money in education in order to make sure they are prepared to take over when that time comes. But again, it's an honor to be here in Montgomery County today because, and the reason we're here in Montgomery County is because the strength of our schools is the strength of America. Um, the strength of our suburbs is the strength of America. Places like this, hardworking families live, dedicated teachers, and proud communities are the backbone of our community. And they really are. That's why we're placing so much effort, so much emphasis on suburban schools. I'm a product of a suburban school in suburban Dallas, Texas. And I can tell you how special and how important that is. Though, but yet there's too many suburban schools like this one here that's showing their age. From leaking roofs to outdated labs to struggling HVAC systems. These are not the conditions our children deserve. And they shouldn't be in those conditions. We cannot expect our kids to compete in the 21st century when their buildings are stuck in the last century. That's why we are fighting for real investment in suburban school infrastructure, modern classrooms, updated labs, better facilities for our teachers, and the resources they need to succeed. Because when our schools are strong, our families are strong, and our country is strong. You know, not too far from where I live back home, there's a school that's been shuttered for about, I want to say maybe 6 years now. Sure, it's got some problems and can be fixed. The one thing that's keeping it from being fixed is money. And as a result of not having the adequate resources from the federal government or from the state government, the school was shut. And now, just down the road, the students are crammed in the classrooms. That doesn't make for a conducive education opportunity. And so we need to do what we can. And this administration is going to work uh, very hard to ensure education is at the front at the front lines because there's nothing more important in our country. And it's not about just bricks and mortar. It's about opportunity. It's about making sure every child in every suburb has the same shot at the American dream. And that the American dream, the ideal of the American dream, it's still alive. It should still be alive. Every child in every school, not only in here in Montgomery County, Pennsylvania, but across this country, deserves a shot at the American dream. But they will only have that shot at the American dream if they have the adequate preparation to pursue that dream, and that begins right here. You know, we're also connecting this work to the bigger picture. We're stabilizing energy markets uh, overseas, so families aren't hit with higher costs at home. I know that people are struggling with high gas prices now, and as a result, other things are going up. The groceries are going up, and it's harder to make ends meet. Uh, think about the educators. That's part of our Back to Basics program, because the prices are up, because it's harder to make ends meet. Teachers are not making enough money for what they do. There are teachers across this country who are living on the poverty level. The people who prepare our students for the next generation, or to be the next generation of explorers and scientists and astronauts and engineers, are living in poverty. And that should not be the case. That should not be the case. In Back to Basics, this program is going to ensure that the education department, first of all, will exist under my administration. Secondly, it will be equal to the Department of Defense as far as budgetary resources. It will get the same, if not more, allocation in the federal budget. Right now, we're targeting over $1 trillion in education alone. And how that's going to work, folks, it's going to work to where that comes from the Department of Education back through the states, back to the county, back to the city, and where you start seeing the direct results. We've got to turn this around, folks, and I know we can do this. I know we can do this. You know, and to the teachers, the administrators, the parents, and students here today, I do want to thank you. Thank you very much for showing up here every day and doing the hard work. You have a partner in the White House. As long as this administration is in power, education will be up front in this administration. You know, and you think about it, teachers, administrators, students, you're getting close to the end. I know there's only just a few more days of school left, and I know we kind of squeaked this in toward the end. We used to do a big back to school event, but we felt it's important to hit the road one more time before the school year ends and talk about the importance of school infrastructure. And so I know you guys are all tired. I get it, and especially our teachers. And I want to see that you get adequate pay so that you get to enjoy your summer vacation. A lot of times, teachers don't get a chance to enjoy summer vacation. They're off to teach summer school for the extra money. They're taking a second job, and they go back to school in August, and they're not rested up, ready for that 9 months of school coming. So, under our administration, we're going to do the very best we can to ensure that teachers get the long administration. You have a Dr. Gonzalez. When I was interviewing her for this position, she 100% on board with what we're trying to do, and I appreciate her efforts in this. And that's going to be important in fighting the battles that she's going to have to fight both up on the Hill and all through the country as we try to get this education program passed through. And I know that there's been many presidents who've come before and have said the same things, that talked about how they're going to turn around education and how they're going to do this and how they're going to do that. Let me tell you, there's a personal interest here. I'm married to a school teacher, have been for almost 31 years now. And so this is important. This is important. Our children's education is important. So, and we will, at the White House, we'll keep pushing for the resources you need until every suburban school has the facility, the educator, and the educators it deserves, and the students it deserves. Um, in closing, I just want to say this, and this has to deal with another thing that we are working on. That's teacher um, longevity. Um, Back home in Texas, and it's really kind of weird that you go to Sunday school with your former English teacher, but I do. And we were talking just a few weeks ago before Sunday school class, and she was telling me, and I don't remember. I was a sophomore back then, sophomore, junior, senior. I went to that school for that particular high school for 3 years. But she was telling me that she had first taught in Dallas and came out to suburban Dallas County to teach. And when she did, there were three other teachers who started with her. They stayed for 30 years in that district. 30 years, believe it or not. And when she retired, and they all three retired together, when she retired, she went on to serve the school board and became the school board president. That's what I want to see through this country. I want to see our educators invested in our schools. I want to see our educators invested in our communities. And I want to see them out there investing, again, investing in the communities and live in the communities they teach in. And so, and so they feel that they're part of the change that's happening. So, folks, there's a lot of important issues that we face every day at the White House. I mean, there's a lot of world crisis going on right now. We've got Iran. We've got every day you wake up and you seem like you have another crisis that you're facing. But there is always education. That's always important, and we're going to do everything we can every single day of this administration to ensure that our students are taught well, are fed well, and our teachers are taken care of. I want to thank you very much. May God bless you. May God bless the United States of America, and may you protect our troops. Thank you all very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you.